So you have solved 600 plus LeetCode problem, maybe 700, right? So you can solve array, maybe tree, graph, dynamic programming, and you feel ready. And then you walk into the interview and then you freeze. Not because the problem was very hard, because you saw that particular problem and you felt it is a completely different problem what you have solved earlier, right? So here is the truth. Nobody says it loud, right? Just solving LeetCode alone is not going to get into the interview, right? And I'm not just saying that, okay, just don't solve the LeetCode problem. But what I'm trying to say is that you are preparing the wrong thing. I am Vijay Vatta, 14 years of experience into IT industry, right? And trained more than 1,000 of working professional to crack the product-based company interview. So I have taken hundreds of interview, lots of mock interview also. I know exactly what recruiters or when recruiters say yes to a candidate, when recruiters say no to a candidate. So today I'm going to tell you what exactly matters in the interview, right? So at the end of this particular video, you will know why exactly you are failing in different interview and how to fix these things. So let's break down this particular thing into 4 different steps, right? Let's start with the step 1, the LeetCode lie nobody is talking about. So here is most of these engineers think, right? So if I solve maybe let's say 500, 600 LeetCode problem, I'm going to nail this particular interview. Is this sounds logical? Answer is yes, it sounds logical. But believe me, this is not 100% true, because when you solve a LeetCode problem, so your thinking ability, problem solving ability is improving, but you are solving it in silence. But in real interview, they are not looking for a silent problem solver. They look for what exactly your thought process, how over the period of time your thought process is keep on evolving. Are you asking the right question? How exactly you are communicating with your interviewer, right? How exactly you are handling the pressure? So just solving 500 problems, right? 500, 600 problem is not going to give you this skill set because you have never thought about it. Let me tell you reality, right? The people who cracks actually bank interview, they may not be a hardcore problem solver, but what they are problem solver with best communicator and good in the handling the pressure, right? If you are combination of these 3, then definitely you are going to crack the Mang interview. Okay, let's go to the point number 2, right? What exactly the Mang recruiters are evaluating, right? Let's understand. The interviewer always not look into your code, right? They're actually checking, can I work with this particular engineer who I am interviewing with on day-to-day basis, or can this person be acquainted with different team members? Is he going to be collaborative with different team members? Is he going to handle the pressure and distribute the loads maybe with different team members and discuss with different team members and get the ideas and re-implement that? So keeping this thing in mind, so whatever action you are taking in that particular interview, they are deciding based on that, along with your code for sure. But yeah, so they are scoring at each and every time. They're taking notes, they are keep on scoring you, right? So here are the 5 things you must remember while going into the interview. First thing first, whenever there is a given a question, do you really understand that question very clearly? So most people, what they do, so they really don't understand the question very clearly, but still they will jump into the start coding it, or they will write the algorithm, they will start thinking about the solutions. So remember this. So whenever you got a question, so you must think about the different scenarios or understanding the problem and keep asking the question to the interviewer, right? In case there is any clarification is needed, any edge case, if you think you are thinking that you don't understand it, right? So discussion is very important point from the beginning, clarification questions, right? Then which comes the second point, right? So did you clarify your solution before exactly coding it? So Mang interview, they are actually interested to see your thought process, right? Not much interested to see your code, right? Don't think that, okay, I have thought about an algorithm or I find the solution, let me code it and show it, right? So that is not how it goes. So once you come up with your thought process, once you know how your solution will happen, you must explain to the interviewer, right? Because if you explain, the solution which you are thinking may need some optimization, right? In that case, they can give you some hints and you can optimize further, right? But in case you don't discuss with them, first of all, they will not understand how exactly your thought process is going on. Second thing, if you will code something at the end of the day, so you will find out that whatever you are coding, there is some mistake in that, or if further improvement is possible, then definitely you are going to fail in that interview. So make sure that once you are clear with your algorithm, you are explaining to your interviewer, right? This is what I'm thinking. Should I go ahead and code it, right? So just telling them this way. So let's come to the third point, right? So which is, are your code is very clear and is it readable? So if you're writing messy code, so which gets an idea that, okay, so I mean, you are not clear in your thought process. So that's why you are keep on writing the messy code. So good variable names, right? Give a better variable names and try to structurize your program, right? So if you structurize, give proper names, that will give a very good readability code. So next point, what they are actually checking, so which is what happens if you are get stuck. So we are human beings, we can get stuck at any point of time while solving the problem. Maybe you don't understand any edge case, or you are not able to come up with the optimal solution, or you are not able to understand some of the questions, right? You can stuck at any point of time. So what you do actually at that point? So in that point, so they see whether you keep on thinking silently or you give up, like saying that, okay, I'm not able to do this. So let me tell you, right? You should actually keep on thinking loudly and keep on asking the question, right? So if you're unsure also, right? So what exactly you need to do? You can keep discussing with your interviewer. You can explain, right? So this is what I'm not able to understand, or this is what my thought process. Can you explain me this particular thing, or how this particular edge case is working for this particular thing? Make sure that you are thinking in loud, communicating the interviewer, communicating with them your struggle, right? So that they can help you with. So last point, which is very important, right? So do you really optimize your solution, right? Most of the time what happens, right? So once you come up with a solution, then you will keep on writing the code, right? But is it really the optimized solution? So that's why before coding, just take a consent from your interviewer. I'm going to coding this particular problem. So is it okay, right? So if they give say hints, no, can you find a better algorithm, better time complexity or space complexity, optimize time complexity or space complexity, whatever, right? Take this as an input, try to work with your thought process and communicate with your interviewer, right? And optimize your algorithm. And once you find the optimized algorithm, try to code that. And if you are a senior engineer who are really looking to crack product-based company interview, then go ahead and book a free one-to-one call with me where we'll sit down together and create a personalized roadmap only for you. Let's come to the point number 3, right? So we have discussed 2 points so far. Let's come to the point number 3, the patterns that nobody is teaching you, right? So let's understand the patterns. So here is the thing which take me years actually to fully understand the things, right? So every product-based company, right? So like Google, Amazon, whatever, like Flipkart or startups even, right? They rely on the patterns. So believe me, it is not that, okay, they are giving you random problem. Rather, they have created a framework, right? Based on that framework, they actually judge a student or the working professional who is giving the interview. So engineers who cracked multiple job offers in a row, may not be the smartest one, right? Or not due to their luck. So they actually mastered this particular pattern over the period of time. That's why they're successful, or they're able to crack the multiple job offers. So let me break down these particular patterns in 4 steps, right? Step number 1, clarify the problem, right? That is the first step they do in any interview. Whenever you got a question, you just need to repeat in your own word, right? Ask if you have any questions. Ask about the different constants, right? So discuss the edge cases. Next step is think in loud, right? First of all, whatever coming to your mind, right? So let's say it is brute force algorithm. Just tell to the interviewer. Then if you are improving it, right? So let's discuss once again with the interviewer. Okay, this is what I was thinking about my brute force, and this is what my little bit optimized algorithm. If you want to further optimize, then let's discuss again. So it is an improvement step-by-step process. So interviewer can see that, okay, you have that ability to optimize over the period of time once you keep on thinking. And while coding, just try to explain also the, right? So while coding also, right? So this is the loop I am putting to iterate over this particular thing. This is the depth of this particular, this variable is going to keep track of the depth of this particular tree, right? So you can keep on thinking or keep on telling, right? So while coding, that will make easier to evaluate you. So finally, once you are done with that, right? Evaluate our solution, right? So talk about the time and space complexity, run through one example. So let's talk about the last step, so which is the 4th step, right, out of this particular thing, which is I don't understand why most of the engineers don't fix this particular problem. We are going to talk about this particular in the 4th point. So by this time, you might be thinking, right, okay, this makes sense, but why nobody is talking about this? I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I look into the lot of codes, but all these things, but every time you look into them, so they just say that, okay, keep on solving the problem, which I am not denying that it is not an important job, but at the same time, so that is not going to solve the whole problem or get into the mangle company. That's what I'm trying to say. Nobody is telling how to solve a problem inside your interview room, right? So I mean, how you need to think about it, how you need to clarify questions, right? All these things. And the interview, and most of the engineers, how they learn it, they will go to 5-6 interview, they will fail it, or 7 interview, right? So or 10 interview, they will maybe lose 1 month, 2 months of time just giving the interview. After that, slowly they will learn it, right? The right way. So if you are someone who don't want to waste your like interview, right? So you don't want to spend 1 month just hit and trial, just follow these 3 tips, right? I'm just going to give you this at this particular end of this particular video. So before first thing, right? So before going to an interview, make sure that you are taking the mock interview. So it is better if you can take a mock interview with the real engineers who have already trained or who is from the man, right, or product-based company. It is always better. If you are not want to do that also, you can record yourself, think out loud, right, while solving the problem, and watch it again and again. Do it 3-4 times, right. So and if you give mock interview, then record that, right, and just try to watch it, right? So try to get the feedback from the real interviewer. If you are recording by yourself, just see that where you get paused, where you have not asked the clarifying question, whatever discussed in this particular video. Try to make sure that you are taking every actions, right? If not, then try to correct it into the next mock interview. So second point, which is very important, which is the time-based explanation, right? What does that mean? So whatever the problem you might have already solved, take that problem and just try to explain that particular problem very clearly within 2 minutes. And believe me, if you are not able to explain it properly, that means you really don't understand that problem, or you don't have the clarity to explain, right? Make sure that you are improving that particular skill. Third thing, which is very important, failure analysis. After each mock interview or the real interview, write down why you failed, right? So at least understand from your analysis point of view, why did you fail in that interview? Was that the problem you were not able to code, or it was the communication skill, or it was the conversational skill? What was that skill that was missing in that particular interview so that you get failed? So once you do this analysis, then you will be able to improve that particular segment, right? And in the next interview, definitely you are going to crack it. So let's bring it together, right? So LeetCode is a tool. It is not a strategy. So if you see the engineers who crack the man or maybe product-based company interview, they are not the someone who solved maybe thousands of problem or 800 problem, right? Not like that. So they are the person who learned to solve the problem. Along with that, how to think out in loud, how to take the help from the interviewer when needed, how to communicate properly, how to handle the pressure, how to optimize the algorithm, how to apply this consistent framework, right, in any interview. That's the framework they mastered, right? Communications, asking clarifying question, handling pressure, right? All these things, right? So they have mastered it. That's all you need to do. You need to master this particular framework, whatever discussed in this particular video. If you master this, definitely your journey is going to be very, very smooth in your real interview. And if you are a senior engineer who are really want to take it forward and want to crack product-based company interview, then go ahead and book a free one-to-one call with me where we'll discuss together and create a personalized roadmap for you. And if you want to see, right, what real Mang recruiter are looking at, if you want to see what Mang recruiters know, most of the engineers don't know, right, due to which they fail in the real interview, then you can watch this particular video, which will definitely going to help you. Thank you.